Ciao and welcome to another lasagna week. I'm going to be still sticking to the vegetarian theme, and I'm going to be adapting the pasta alla Norma, and I'll be making a lasagna instead. And I will also be using ricotta instead of bechamel sauce. This clove of garlic has got it for me. So let's make a start. So that very clove of garlic which was trying to run away from me, I'm going to be slicing it into very little pieces first. I'm making the sauce, so I'm going to be adding now the garlic to a little olive oil. Place the pan on a hob, make sure that it's nice and hot, and as soon as the garlic starts sizzling, add a tin of Italian cherry tomatoes. I think I said this before, if you can use Italian cherry tomatoes for these recipes, it's much better. It is worthwhile spending a few extra pennies because it makes such a difference. I've added a little water in the tin to just rinse it. Once the sauce reaches the boil, add a little salt and place the lid on, turn the temperature down onto a simmering position and let it simmer for approximately 15 minutes. So in the meantime, while we wait for the sauce, I'll move on to a very important ingredient, the aubergine. So remove the little head and do little slices of approximately 1 centimeter each slice. And pour a little olive oil in a frying pan. And while everything is cold, just arrange your aubergines at the bottom. And turn them around so that the oil gets absorbed by all of the aubergines. I just realized that I left the lights off, so hopefully it will not affect the quality of the video. We'll see when it comes to editing it. Great, let's move on. So I have placed the aubergine in a pan on the hob, and I've turned the heat up high to start with. As soon as they start making the sizzling noise, you just turn the heat down. I will go on to a medium number 4 out of 9, and I'll place the lid on and I'll let them cook in their own steam so that they do not require an awful lot of oil. As lasagna goes, this is most probably one of the simplest recipes, and not to say that it's not going to be very tasty, but it's very straightforward. It doesn't actually take a long time at all. I will be using mozzarella, so this is fresh mozzarella, 1 ball of mozzarella, and I'm slicing it as thinly as I can in here on my chopping board. If you were to make pasta alla Norma, one of the ingredients would be ricotta salata. So I've actually got 250 grams of ricotta, and I've put a tiny little amount of salt, not a lot, and I'm going to be mixing it together. This will be my topping for the lasagna. So after 5 minutes, my aubergines are nearly done on one side. Actually, they are done on one side, so I can turn them around. You will see that they got this nice golden color. Also, they're changing color, so that is a good sign that they are ready on one side. Once you turn them around, they will not need as long, maybe another 3 to 4 minutes. And the sauce is also done. As I said, 15 minutes, that's all it took. It smells lovely. If, like me, you did use cherry tomatoes, go in with a fork and make sure that you crush them so that you don't find them rolling in the lasagna, and add a little fresh basil only once it's finished cooking. You do not want to really cook the basil, so that releases lovely flavors into the sauce. And this is done, it's ready for later. And the aubergines are cooked, and before I continue, I'll just sprinkle a tiny little amount of salt on each piece. I'll do this afterwards so that I can taste the salt. And I've cut them into little strips ready for a filling of my lasagna. And I'm ready to start. I did tell you it wasn't going to take very long. So as always, a little layer of sauce at the very bottom. By the way, I need to reduce the amount of lasagna I make because I've got a freezer which is progressively getting filled up with lasagna. So I'm making just enough for 2 today. Also, when I made the last lasagna, I said that I would use the hard pasta, so that's what I'm doing today. This is hard lasagna, and I've placed one already at the bottom. To make it easier on myself, I score a little with a knife, and then it should just easily, there you go, break in half. Second layer with a little bit more sauce. And I'm going to be using the aubergines and the mozzarella as a filling. and a sprinkle of Pecorino cheese. I'm using Pecorino because pasta alla Norma tend to use Pecorino, but you can also use Parmesan, entirely up to you. And off I go to my next layer. By the way, you can just chop the little corners as you go up to ensure that the pasta fits nicely, like I'm doing here. And here I am on my last layer. As always, make sure that you keep more sauce for the end. I've managed actually 5 layers today. Most probably it's because I've got less fillings than normal. And just cover the rest of your pasta. And the very last ingredient is going to be my salted or just salted ricotta instead of the besciamella sauce. That will give the lasagna alla Norma a touch of authenticity. And spread the ricotta the best you can with a spoon or a spatula, and it's ready to go in the oven. I keep doing this. I said the last ingredient, but I lied. The very last ingredient is going to be a little coating of pecorino cheese on the very top. This will complement the slightly salted ricotta very nicely. Optional, of course, and how much you put in is entirely up to you, but I do like it, and I will be putting a fair amount. And there it is, it's ready to go in the oven. Regardless of its size, it's still 180 degrees in the oven for 35 minutes. The first 20 minutes, 180 degrees with tin foil on top, and the last 15 minutes, remove the tin foil so that you get a lovely golden color on top. So I'll see you in 40 minutes. And there she is, our little madam. It's been cooking and it's ready, looking pretty good. As I say, 35 minutes, that's the standard time. And it has been resting now for 5 minutes. It is really important that you let it rest because it will give you the opportunity for it to set and also be much easier to serve. And up he comes, or she comes, Mrs. Norma Lasagna. Wow. Just like pasta alla Norma, but lasagna alla Norma. Deliziosa, simple, delicious, and very simple. That's all I can say. No excuses not to make it, because it's a really simple dish to make, and it doesn't take a lot of time, and it tastes absolutely wonderful. Ciao, see you later. Thank you for watching. Bye.